people don't really understand the value of referrals. If you had a good experience and you refer them to someone else, their business grows. Yeah,
Exactly.
so I think Zambian businesses really have a lot of work to do in how they carry different customers. Even if you are doing really well, trust
Yeah,
me, those loyal customers, they may move on. This time it's very
exactly.
competitive.
Yes, we have very few businesses that have lived long,
Yes,
because the moment I pass on, my business passes on with me.
with you, yeah.
We need to get to a point where we are setting up our business operations in such a way that even if I'm not there, this business, whether
Can
it's
still
me
run,
training my
yeah.
family members or the next person, it should still run.
Yeah.
Because we want to have companies that will be saying, oh, Let's Go Hiking has been there for 200 years,
Yeah.
supporting fitness. And that can
Yeah.
only happen if we are having a proper structure on how we'll continue to run
Yeah.
this business, even when we're not there. There are certain people that just don't advertise. They
Yeah.
may open a similar business and they are doing the same thing that you're doing, but they never advertise their work on Facebook. They don't even have a Facebook page. They're not on Instagram or TikTok. Yes, some
Yeah.
people say those are like for childish people, but the reality is that's where the customers
Yeah.
are. Almost everyone now will be on those platforms, and
Yeah.
that's what they will use, because someone wants to see an image before they make a
Yeah.
purchase. So if you're not using technology and all those things, yes, you may be offering the same service, but at the end of the day, people will go to the ones that are leveraging the
Yes.
technology.
Hello and welcome to the Money and People podcast, the show where we connect the dots between financial success and the power of human capital. Today, we are going to be discussing the mistakes that Zambian businesses are making that are killing them. And we are going to be sharing from our own experiences, as well as the experiences of some of our audience who were able to submit their own personal stories. Don't worry, it's going to be anonymous. And note that this is not a ranting video. It's just a video that we thought of creating so that we can help small businesses, especially in the Zambian context, to be able to improve and just drive a good customer experience. To help just dissect this topic, I have my best friend here. I am so excited because I think
Ah,
there's no one better that I could have debriefed
I
on this
know.
topic with. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, and
Okay.
hi, viewers, to the podcast. So
What's your
happy to
name?
be here.
They don't know you.
Oh, I thought you were going to introduce me. Okay, so my name's Tapiwa Banda, Mrs. As Delia said, I'm her best friend. We've been friends for years and years since high school.
We are
So
family members.
I know. So when she told me we're doing this podcast, I was excited. I was like, oh, I have to remember to be professional. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good to have you. And I think we can dive right into it by just do you have any of your own personal experiences where you've dealt with a Zambian business and they've disappointed you, or you just didn't have like that kind of experience that you expected?
There are too many. No, not to say that Zambian businesses are all bad, but I
Yeah.
think there are areas where we can improve on, right? So
Yeah.
I'll dive right into like one experience. And I think one thing that really bothers me a lot is us not keeping appointments,
Mm-hmm.
and also just not giving people what we say we'll give them. So we've seen a number of businesses now that have the option for you to make an appointment
Mm-hmm.
either through an app, or you can call and people will accept that you come at a particular time. But when you get there, you'll find that you still have to wait in a queue, almost as though it's the same as me having to show up at a first come, first serve basis.
Yes.
But I think the reason why we make appointments is we have other things to do, and it would be nice to just have something done at that particular time so that we focus on other things. But the other thing also is like the services that someone says we're booking for. So you get there, say, I remember an experience where I made a booking at a salon. I was supposed to wash my hair before I do my hair, right? So my booking was for 7. So I got there and then they told me, no, actually, we don't wash hair. So you have to look around to find another salon where you can wash and blow your
Yeah.
hair. Then you come back because we can't even do your hair without blowing it. So I had to look around, eventually found this salon. They also had to turn on the genset. We took time because they didn't have fuel for their genset.
Oh, wow.
Then eventually, like I was only getting back to the salon around 9. The person that had been allocated to do my hair was allocated to do someone else's hair. So I spent the whole day at the salon. And I think that's not good use of my time at the end of the day
Yeah.
because I had made plans and now my plans had to change. Yeah, so I think top of mind, that's one like bad
Yeah.
experience that I can think of. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think some salons are very strict about this same appointment issue,
Yeah.
whereby I think for some of them, when you book an appointment, they even tell you if you're more than 15 minutes late, we cancel your appointment,
Mm-hmm.
or if you cancel within X number of hours before, then we don't refund you. But
Exactly.
for them, it's like, what are the rules for them to meet also that appointment? Because even for you, your time is also important, just
Exactly.
as important as their time is. So I think even for me, I had a similar experience. So there's this salon that I really, really love. And for me, I think once I start going to a particular salon, I don't want to keep moving from this salon to the other. So I would want to be doing everything from there. But
Yeah.
recently I went there. I wanted to condition my hair, deep conditioning, and their website is so nice that you can even pick which product that you want them to use to condition your hair. So I get there, then I'm told, oh, we've run out of this product. So can we condition your hair using a different product? I was like, okay. They've never slipped up on me. I've been going there for
Yeah.
like 5 years. So let me just give them the benefit of the doubt. I didn't even think too much of it. But I went there again the following month. I booked an appointment, and this time I wanted to braid my hair, but I chose various services. Like when I get there, they must wash it, then they must blow it, then they must plait it. But I get there and no one is talking to me. They're just like, welcome, have a seat. And the time that I came for the appointment is passing.
Yeah.
30 minutes in, I'm like, okay, what's happening? And then they're like, oh, we ran out of shampoo, so we sent someone to go buy shampoo.
Oh,
And I'm like,
wow.
really? I spent close to an hour waiting for this person to go and buy shampoo. They knew I was coming. Why do they have
Exactly.
a pre-booking service if you get there and they're not prepared for your appointment? So it's like they really need to, like, they're using the technology, yes, for the booking, but
Yeah.
how are they using it to coordinate and to even manage their inventory such that when you get there, they have everything. They have the shampoo. Like even for your case, it's just a
Yeah.
thing where they're not coordinating everything well together so that they give you a good experience. Then why did you even have to book an appointment in the first place?
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think saloons, okay, they're embracing the tech, but just the way they're executing, it's like they
Yeah.
still need to improve a little bit on that. And another thing that I've noticed with businesses is also just the customer care bit, whereby with communication,
Mm-hmm.
ish, I had a recent experience where there's a hair salon that I was trying to inquire on getting my hair locked. So I then asked them to say, how much do you charge for getting hair locked? And then the owner of the salon is actually responding. So when you get the owner of the salon, you're even excited because you're like,
Yeah.
okay, this will be a good experience. Because sometimes you're like,
Exactly.
maybe it's because it's not the owner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I send her a message on WhatsApp. I'm like, oh, how much is this service and how many hours does it take? Then she
Mm-hmm.
tells me it takes about 3 to 4 hours. Okay, how much is the service?
Yeah.
She doesn't respond. Okay. In the evening, I remind her, I'm like, you didn't respond. She
Exactly.
says, oh, that's because we have various lengths of the locks. So you need to tell me, do you want the medium short or like super long? I'm like, I want the medium. She didn't respond. I
Oh,
follow
wow.
up. She sends me a voice note. Hi, sweetheart. Um, I've had a very busy day. I'm just getting back home. So once I settle down, I'll send you the price. Okay. This was on the 13th of that month.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout after that interaction with her, she's posting on her social media every day. Come to
Yeah.
our salon. We have amazing locks. Come to our salon. Me,
But
I'm still waiting
exactly, you
to be
haven't
told the price. Yes.
responded to my
So
message.
2 weeks later, I see another ad and I'm now irritated. I've even
Yeah.
moved on. I know I'm not going to do my hair anymore from this person. And I sent her a text to say, how long does it take for you to just give someone a price of your service?
Yeah.
Then she puts this laughing emoji. Laugh out loud. Sorry, I forgot. It costs blah 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 amount. I just said,
Wow.
okay, thanks. And I never got that service from her because are you serious?
Wow. Wow. Like, I'm just thinking, like, it's almost as though the businesses don't really worry about the customers they don't yet have,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, you have this new person inquiring on a service from you.
Yes.
Even on the lengths, when you said, she said, oh, it's because you didn't tell me the length you wanted. Ideally, I should be telling you, these are the lengths that I have. Which one do you want? Then I advise
Yes.
the price, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost as though there's a particular target market that they are more interested in, maybe the
Mm-hmm.
customers that they are serving already. But then at the end of the day, should be interested in growing your market, right? By
Yeah.
responding to you, they would have gotten a new customer, but you were a missed opportunity. And also
Yes.
through your experience, there are other people that have been discouraged from going there, because if I asked you and said, oh, I actually want to go do looks from here, you'd be like, no, those guys are
Yeah.
unresponsive. So
Yeah.
I think a lack of awareness to think about what impact do my actions on this person that I don't know have on the
Yes.
next customer I can actually acquire.
Yeah.
Because I think the other thing I was thinking of when you were speaking on the communication side, right?
Mhm.
There are some that just don't completely respond. Like, you
Yeah.
go to their pages and they say, oh, for quick responses, reach out on WhatsApp or call us on this number. And then they will not call and they will not respond. And then we
Mm-hmm.
also have the others where it's almost as though they are only interested in you up to the point that you acquire something. So I remember a time when I had a chest of drawers done, right? I gave
Mm-hmm.
them a picture, they made it. It looked good in the pictures and it was delivered. But then afterwards, just the same day in the evening, I noticed like some of the things weren't fitting properly. Like once you pull it, it won't fit back properly. The
Yeah.
quality just didn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached out to the person. I'm like, oh, actually, this thing that you delivered isn't proper. So I need you to come and check it, see if there are certain things that you can fix. I'm not even asking for a refund.
Yeah.
The person stopped responding to my messages. Like previously, they were responsive, but from that point onwards, they never responded. They advertised on Facebook. I commented on their post. I'm like, you still haven't responded to my messages. Yeah, so I give feedback. I'm like, you still haven't
Yeah.
responded to my messages. They never responded. And I just left it. I just told myself, no, from this point onwards, I will not have anything made from a
Yeah.
Zambian business. No, I won't. But
Yeah.
I think communication is important. Like your interest in a customer's needs shouldn't just be up to the point when they buy this product from you.
Yeah.
There was also after sales service, like how you
Yes.
relate with that customer will also give you an opportunity for them to come back again or for them to advertise your business to the next person.
Yeah. I agree. And I think with that, it just begs the question because they need this money, right? Because for me, I'm thinking if you're in this business,
Yeah,
the customers. What
exactly.
is putting food on your table? It's
Mm-hmm.
you satisfying these customers. Yes, you may be happy because you have existing customers and those people keep coming back, but I think your reputation is also at stake. And what
Yes.
beats me is like, for example, I have such a bad experience, like with the same person that I was describing, where they do logs and it took them 2 weeks to give me the price. Then what's funny is like a few days later, someone posted on TikTok to say which are the businesses which are doing really well in Zambia. And then I see the name of that business. So I'm like, okay, how can someone else have a totally different experience? They're even listing it as the best place to get their locks from. Meanwhile, I had a
A
very
bad
bad experience.
experience.
So it makes you feel even worse because you're like, is there something wrong with me that I
Mm-hmm.
had such a bad experience, whereas someone else is recommending this place? Is it that I needed to look a certain way or I needed to be of a certain income bracket for them to treat me as a valuable customer as opposed to just being treated as someone who's a forgotten text message in their WhatsApp
Yeah.
inbox? Yeah, so I think that's like something really important that businesses need to consider. how do you get a person? Because there's something known as the marketing or sales funnel, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a funnel because right on top, there are people who will see your ad. There are a lot of them that will see your ad.
Yeah,
They will respond, they will click your ad. But how many will actually be converted to sales depends on how you handle that first conversation with them.
exactly.
And then also, they can come as a first time customer, but for them to become loyal, it's also
Mm-hmm.
on how you treat them. So, like that person you were talking about, they come and install a cupboard for you. Um, you purchase from them that first time, but
Yeah,
because after that they didn't really handle you well, you are not going to become a loyal customer. It's once off, and
yeah,
people don't really understand the value of referrals. If you had a good experience and you refer them to someone else, their business grows. Yeah,
exactly.
so I think Zambian businesses really have a lot of work to do in how they carry different customers. Even if you are doing really well, trust
Yeah,
me, those loyal customers, they may move on. This time it's very
exactly.
competitive.
Yes,
You
it
can be
is.
loyal to this person, but if something else is trending and you see someone else on social media is offering that, you might jump ship. You might be just curious, like, I'll come back, let me just see why
Yes.
everyone's talking about this other person. So you can even lose the same loyal customers that you have.
No, that's very true. Like when you are speaking, I was thinking of the number of experiences we've had at some salons.
Yeah.
Like, there are people who will say, "Oh, when I went to," or even makeup artists, right? They'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, when I went to this makeup artist, I went to this salon. They were very nice and they were
Mm-hmm.
friendly." But I remember this particular incident. I think it was when you had your Chilangam Lilo, right? We
Yeah.
made a booking. This
Yeah.
person does very good hair. And then you get there, and it was actually her assistant that did your work.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't even there. And you're not the only person that's had that. Okay, for me, because of that, I never went there. But
Yes.
other people have had the same experiences with this person. So it's almost like we have a tendency to profile customers. So
Yeah.
the people that we think are like the richer ones, the celebrities, we treat them better.
Yes.
People might, like me and you who don't have celebrity status per se,
Yes.
who are just like ordinary looking Zambians, will be thrown into that little corner and we won't get the same customer experience or the same service that
Yeah.
other people are getting, but we're still paying the same
Yeah.
money. So
Yeah.
unless you give us a cheaper price so that we know that I'm getting
Yeah.
less value, so I should be
Yes.
comfortable to pay less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think someone even submitted something like that. She mentioned to say customers go to some of these famous salons because they want the owner to work on them. But when you get there, the assistants end up working on you and their hairstyle is not the same, which is exactly what happened. Because I remember for you, you even called the salon and you
Yes.
specified to say, we want the owner of the salon to be the one to do this hair. But when we got there, the owner is not there.
No.
They are so busy. They look like they don't even know. I submitted pictures of the style I wanted. Now they're asking me,
Oh
what
yes.
what did you want to do with your hair? I'm like,
I
what do you
remember the
mean?
price. There was even an issue of price
Yes,
because when you made the booking with the owner, when we made the booking with the owner, she said it was this much.
yes,
The day that you got there, then the assistants were like, "Oh, actually, this costs this much."
yes.
So we're like, "Oh, okay."
Calling the owner, she was in a very busy, noisy place. She couldn't even clarify. First of
Yes,
all, she couldn't even remember which booking she was talking about.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Zambian businesses. You have to be very careful. And then the
Yeah,
thing is, it will be on a very special and important occasion. That's when
yes,
the owner is not there.
yes. No, it just reminds me of now my Chilanga Mulilo, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember this. So because mine was on the copper belt,
yeah,
I made a booking with the makeup artist.
yeah.
And then the day before, I was doing my hair. I think a day before, yeah, the day before I was doing my hair. Then my hairstylist is having a conversation with someone else and talking about how this makeup artist was on her way right now to Northern Province. So I'm like, oh, sorry to chip into this conversation, but
Mm-hmm.
this person is going to Northern Province today. Yes, they're like, oh yeah. So she canceled all the appointments that she had. I'm like, no, she's doing my makeup tomorrow morning. They're like, maybe you can just call her.
Yeah,
And
I
yeah.
remember that.
So I
Yeah,
called her and then she picked and I was like, oh, you're supposed to be doing my makeup tomorrow. Are we still on?
yeah.
Then she said she would call me back. Then she eventually sent me a message around 17
Yeah.
saying she wasn't going to be able to do my makeup. So she was sending me her assistant. And I said, no, like, I don't know how good your assistant is. So she
Mm-hmm.
sent me a refund. So I had to look for a new person to do my makeup the night
Yo,
before.
yo.
Yeah. So like I think it goes to the other point, like the communication still, like I think businesses can do better to communicate even when circumstances change,
Yeah.
right? Like things do happen, but I've seen most times people won't communicate. Like the owners will be on you, the customer, to
Mm-hmm.
reach out.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting here, like even a week before I reached out and said, oh yes, we're still on. So I'm sitting here thinking things will still go as planned. But if
Mm-hmm.
things change, I think it's best you communicate. Like the
Yeah.
responsibility shouldn't always be on the customer, even where it's circumstances that you know they wouldn't be aware of.
Yeah, that is very true. And I've just remembered another weird experience that I had with a business.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do this hiking
Oh,
business
yes.
as well. So there's this place where we had once done a hike before,
Mm-hmm.
hiked, and then had a lovely breakfast there. So
Mm-hmm.
I decided to have another hiking and breakfast event from that same place. So I called them and I
Mm-hmm.
asked them, how much would it cost to have a hike for 40 people at your venue? And is this date available? So they told me, yes, we can host you on this date. It's available, but we'll get back to you about the number
Price.
of
Oh,
people.
okay.
So I said, okay, cool. That was on a Friday. And I follow up on WhatsApp and I don't get any response.
Mm-hmm.
So me, I'm very fast. I'm working with time. I need to put
Yeah.
out my ads. So I advertise and I say 40 people on this date and all that. Tell me why the following Monday now they are calling me. Now they are saying, why did you go ahead and advertise this event? We can't
Okay.
handle 40 people. That's such a huge number. I'm like, bro,
But you said
you didn't get back to me. I
exactly.
waited and I even followed up,
Yes.
and there was no response as to whether you had a reservation with this number of people. So I went ahead and decided to advertise, and they're like, no, actually, that is such a huge number. We can't handle that number. So just go ahead and reduce that number to 20 people. Okay, cool. That is fine. And then the previous time, um, I was able to go ahead and make a reservation because their policy says you go ahead and make a reservation. You pay a deposit of a certain percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So after that phone call, I'm like, cool. I'll go ahead and make a deposit of a percentage of the total sum for 20
20
people.
people, yeah.
Then they call me and they're like, actually, no, for you, you're going to have to pay the full amount today. And if you don't make the booking, if you don't make the payment by end of today, then you cancel. We are canceling your reservation. Oh,
Okay.
okay. Now, because I've already advertised and I can't then suffer on my reputation, I go
Yeah.
ahead and pay
The
that
full
full amount.
amount, yeah.
Okay. A day before the hiking event, they call me and they're like, I know we are supposed to do like a la carte breakfast, but because your group is 20 people, can we just do like a buffet? It will be the same items, but we'll do like a buffet because you have such a big number.
Wait, but we said 40 was too big and reduced to
We reduced
20.
it to 20 because they said 20 will help us manage our restaurant better. But now, the day before, you call and say, no, you need to do a buffet because your number is big. Okay, you know what? At this point, I just want this event to pass because in my head, I've
Exactly.
even said, I'm never going to deal with these people again. Never. I do so many hikes and I do them in collab with many organizations. I've never had
Yeah.
such a situation happen. So tell me why now the day of the hike comes, we do the hike successfully. We go to have breakfast. We find they've written, let's go hiking breakfast. Okay. What do they have there? They had eggs, baked beans, potatoes, and bread. That was all. People were paying 400 kwacha for this.
Wait, 400 kwacha for eggs.
Eggs, baked beans, potatoes, and bread.
Yeah.
And then there was this lovely display of pastries and cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
Someone from my group went there to get a cupcake, and the staff came and said, "No, this is not for let's go hiking. Your
Okay.
table is that one there. You're not allowed to eat from this table."
Okay.
Okay, some people from my table wanted to sit on a separate table because two of them wanted to chat. No, let's go hiking. We specifically created for you your own table. You're not allowed to sit anywhere else on this premises. And I didn't understand why. Because the reason I went back there was because of the awesome experience we had. The
The
first time we
first
went there,
time.
we were a group of around 20 people. And the
Mm-hmm.
breakfast was amazing. That's why we
Yeah.
went back there because it was a full English breakfast. Why
Mm-hmm.
now are we being given? And I tell you, everyone that came on that hike said it felt like we were given leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
Why were we being given leftovers? So I didn't really understand. And this time it was quite different because it's not business to customer. It's like business to business. And trust
Yes.
me, if you work well with another business, you get more recommendations and you can
Mm-hmm.
actually end up having a nice collaboration where you have frequent such events and you get
Exactly.
to help the other business to advertise. Okay. But for me, the treatment that I got is like I'm never going to deal with this business again.
Exactly.
And they are quite a big reputable organization. So
Mm-hmm.
it really, really put me off. So I think also, even in whatever circumstances that we are doing as businesses, we need to ensure uniformity because I felt
Yes.
like I was being punished for advertising
Oh,
before they confirmed that they
yes.
can handle 40 people. Now it's like every other action they were doing was to punish me, to punish my business. That's why they made me have to pay the full amount. That's why they made us eat this mediocre breakfast. So I think, yeah, businesses need to also detach that emotional aspect
Emotions,
where, yeah,
yes.
yeah,
And I think while at first I was like, oh, okay, that's a very interesting experience. Like, okay. But then
yeah,
again, it goes to, I think businesses don't do a lot to train their people.
yes,
I think at the end of the day, as you said, they need to detach emotions. But the fact is, we are emotional beings, like human beings are
yeah,
emotional by nature.
yeah,
So I think companies need to do more to train people,
yeah,
whether it's customer service, emotional intelligence, like
yes,
how do people manage to still come off professional, even
yeah,
when they feel hurt? Because even if they say, oh, they are punishing you because you advertised before, you also were disadvantaged at so many points and hurt at so many points because
yeah,
there is a point where they didn't respond to you.
yes,
They made you pay a full amount, which is against the policy that was agreed before.
yeah,
All those are points where you were bruised, but you still decided to be professional and do the right thing and respect them because they have a business. So
yeah,
I think businesses equally, the other businesses equally need to do the same. Train your
yeah.
people. Let them know that this is a business.
Mhm.
Instances will come where there will be misunderstandings, but let's not use that to punish the customers. Because at the end of the day, it goes back to what we said before. You've lost a customer. This customer will not come back. They won't be loyal. And not just you as
Yes,
let's go hiking, but the members of the hiking group. Because maybe they would also want to go there at another time, but they won't because of that
yes,
experience.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, do you have any other examples that you'd like to share, or we can go into reading the responses?
Okay, let's read the responses. If there's anything that is linked to the responses, we can still share it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, one person responded and said, market overcrowding. This
Mm-hmm.
person says it's getting out of hand because once someone sees a trending business, everyone starts doing that. People
Mm-hmm.
need to be more innovative. Yeah. So, I think there's two sides to this. I remember when I started my hiking business, I would complain a lot to
Mm-hmm.
my husband because I would be like, there's so many hiking businesses, but the moment I started doing like hiking gear, like hiking apparel, t-shirts, hiking boots,
Boots.
now the other hiking groups are also trying to do the same thing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to advertise to them, but now they want to come up with their own clothing line. Okay,
Yes.
you've been in this business for years. Why didn't you think of that? And also, like, the response that my husband gave me was, but that's a good thing because it's like
Yeah.
you're a trendsetter. Okay,
Yes.
so you can want to complain that people are just doing the trending business. I think you can't run away from that. It's why
Yeah.
there, if you go to Matebeto there, how many people are selling
Exactly. The
shima with
T-bone.
T-bone
Yes.
and vegetables? But I think for you as a business, it should push you to see how you can differentiate how you handle your customers
Yes.
might still make you um, be able to generate money. And it's true. I mean, it is true that people are not being creative, they're just copying other people. But for you as a business, I feel that shouldn't discourage you, but it should
Yeah.
just push you to just, because you will always have something that will make you unique, right? And
Yes.
also, I think there's only so many business opportunities at the end of the day. But yeah,
Yeah.
what do you think about this particular submission?
I think honestly, I think the same, right? At the end of the day, um, if a market is one where whatever service or good is being delivered is not unique, it's easy for
Mm-hmm.
anyone else to do it. But as you said, what can one do that makes their product or service unique? So I'll go back to the initial discussions we were having about salons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I can walk this way and I'll find 10 salons in one market. I can go the other way, I'll find 20. But there's
Yeah.
a reason why you will only go into one salon.
Yeah.
It's either they are giving you quality service, they
Mm-hmm.
are delivering exactly what they said they would deliver,
Mm-hmm.
or it's how they treat you when you're in there. So
Yeah.
there are certain people, yes, who will do the same thing that you do.
Yeah.
But let's say for hiking boots, maybe they don't deliver them on time. If they say you have your boots in 2 weeks, they
Yeah.
will have them in 2 months.
Yeah.
So in as much as yes, people are doing the same things, I think if people differentiate what they are doing, it will
Mm-hmm.
still be the people that do it better
Mm-hmm.
that will get more customers. Also, I think the other thing is who leverages technology. So I think
Mm-hmm.
we're now living in an age where everyone is using social media,
Yeah.
even to find like the next salon they'll go to and. But there are certain people that just don't advertise. They
Yeah.
may open a similar business and they are doing the same thing that you're doing, but they never advertise their work on Facebook. They don't even have a Facebook page. They're not on Instagram or TikTok. Yes, some
Yeah.
people say those are like for childish people, but the reality is that's where the customers
Yeah.
are. Almost everyone now will be on those platforms, and that's
Yeah.
what they will use because someone wants to see an image before they
Mm-hmm.
make a
Yeah.
purchase. So if you're not using technology and all those things, yes, you may be offering the same service, but at the end of the day, people will go to the ones that are leveraging the
Yes.
technology. Yeah,
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that if you're on these platforms and you have to get involved in the drama, you can just
exactly.
be there and just be posting about your business
Business. Yes, no,
and
that's
growing
true.
your business. And you can actually find that you're even better than some of those businesses. But just because you don't use social media to like make yourself stand out and be seen,
Yes,
you're wondering like where did the customers go? And we've seen a lot
exactly.
of businesses that you're just wondering, okay, but where is that business? Like, are they
Exactly.
still there? Meanwhile, they're there, but they're just not making themselves visible, right?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
also in being visible, I think you also have to be careful because sometimes I feel like sometimes it's I don't know how you view it, but there's certain businesses that are like in your face every single day. So it's like there's a thin line between
Yeah.
becoming a bit too much and just you. Anyway, I guess the argument there is sometimes not everyone has been on your page. So maybe you're trying to catch a new pool of customers. But for your existing customers, it may become a bit too much because every day you're posting. Like for me, there's this boutique that posts every day. When they have this stock, they'll probably have the same stock for the 4 months, but every day they're
Hmm.
just posting the same videos. And I like that aggressiveness. But
Yeah.
for some, it may be like, okay, it's a bit too much
But now you're making me think, right? If it's like a boutique business and you're selling the same clothes, posting the same ones every day for
every
a
day.
month, I think you might need to change something, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
your product or
Mm-hmm.
your marketing strategy. If like usually with the boutiques, right, when you post something,
Mm-hmm.
most times it will be sold out within a week if what you're selling is
Is that
appealing to the
good?
customers.
Yeah.
So if you have to advertise for a month, I think you need to go back to the drawing board. Like, what is that communicating to you as a business? Is it that
Yeah.
the product that you have is not good enough, or maybe things have changed? Like, and
Yeah.
I think that goes to something else I was thinking of. Like, are businesses really taking the time to understand the changing needs of customers?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a point where we wanted to dress a certain way. Things have changed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even just the way we're dressed. At some point, we never used to do straight leg jeans. Now we're back
Yes.
in them, right?
Yeah.
But there are people who just want to just have the skinny jeans and.
Yeah.
So how is that business then learning what the customers' needs are as
Mm-hmm.
they evolve and
Mm-hmm.
changing their products so that you
Yeah.
don't need to be with the same stock for months and months and months, because
Yes.
then it means maybe you're just offering the wrong product.
Yeah. That is really, really true. Like,
Yeah.
we need to not get too comfortable as businesses and see how best we can improve our products and services. I totally agree.
Yeah.
So someone else mentioned to say wedding vendors, like
Mm.
deco people.
Those.
We've had our fair share. So she said you can agree on what you want and the layout. Then on the actual day, they do something totally different, knowing very well that you can't do anything about it. Yeah. And she also mentioned something else to say some businesses are closed on Sundays and holidays,
Oh,
but they
yeah.
don't realize this is when some people, especially the working class, have free time for shopping. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one is really true. And I mean, if you look at right now, the way things are in Zambia,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we could really benefit from an approach where we have extended working
Working
hours
hours.
because
Yeah.
then you introduce people working in shifts and you even create more employment. It's
Yes.
so irritating sometimes that you knock off from work late and you go to the store and you find the stores are closed.
Yep.
But that's the only time you have to go to the store.
Exactly.
It's a holiday, that's the only time you may want to buy certain things, the store is closed. But if you could have people working in shifts, I'm sure you can work out a way to rotate.
Yeah.
If you go to certain countries like abroad, ish, I remember being in Dubai at 01, shops were open. It was like it's 14 hours. And they have
Exactly.
people who are able to work in those shops. And you see, the economy is growing because you're able to accommodate different people. So some people, um, I actually get happy seeing a store which is owned by Seventh Day Adventists because I know
Oh,
on Sunday
yes.
I won't be panicking. I'll find that
Oh,
shop
yeah.
open. So it just shows that there's still a potential market if you were
Mm-hmm.
to extend your business hours or if you were to be open on holidays.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I do agree. Like, especially like the point on the working hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the challenge I've had, I haven't been able to collect my laundry the whole week because the laundry closes at 18, right? So every day I'm leaving the office and
Yeah,
rushing, and I'm looking at the time when I'm about to get there, it's past 18. So my
yeah,
laundry has been there for over a week, right? But I think their target market is mostly us who are taking work clothes there. It would actually be beneficial if
yes,
they can open a bit longer so that after work you can pass
yeah,
through and I love that most pharmacies now work longer,
yeah,
because I think there was a point when pharmacies would also close early, but at least now
yes,
they do longer hours.
yeah.
I wanted to comment on the first one also on the
On the
vendors, right?
deco, yeah, wedding venues.
So I remember an experience that a friend had.
Mm-hmm.
So this vendor was doing their wedding cards, right?
Yeah.
So they agreed, they even made a payment. I think the agreement was to pay 70% to
Mm-hmm.
allow for them to purchase the material to do the cards. So
Yeah.
they made the payment. On the date that was agreed for collection, she reached out
Yeah.
and the person didn't pick. They never responded to the messages. She tried sending messages on WhatsApp. She was blue ticked. So like 2 weeks later, she told me, I want to, and the person actually changed locations.
Yeah.
So initially when they met, she had been to their previous location, so they changed to their new office. So she
Mm-hmm.
called me. She's like, I want you to call this person for me. We're doing something, and I think, she's like, call them. Just tell them you
Oh,
want them to
using a
do
different
cards
number.
using my number, because initially she did
Yeah.
everything herself. So she told
Yeah.
me, call them, tell them you want to do cards, and ask them where they are found and if they are working today.
Yeah.
I called and the person picked immediately, like despite them not having been picking my friends' numbers
Yeah.
or calls,
Yeah.
they picked my call immediately. So I told them, oh, I'm interested. I want you to do cards. So I want to come through so that I show you the design. They're
Yes.
like, oh, okay, sure. Can I send you my location? Like he quickly even offered to send the
What?
location. I was like, oh, yes, please send me the location. He sent it to me.
Yeah.
I sent it to my friend. She reached, she couldn't really spot the place. So she called me to call him. I'm like, oh, I'm at this billboard written this. He's like, oh, let me come out. So I told him, like, no, just stand there. He's coming.
Yeah.
And that's how she met him. She was like, he looked so shocked. Like, but like,
Wow.
to be honest, I don't understand why you would do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, why are you avoiding this person? You've already received a part payment. This
Yeah.
person is expecting you to deliver on this. If
Yeah.
there's anything that happened, communicate, give them a refund
Yeah.
also in good time rather than avoiding this person. But for me, because it's someone you don't know, a would be customer, you're acting nice. So imagine if I was also someone that wanted to get this service from him,
Mm-hmm.
he would have done the same to me.
Yes. Oh my
So
God.
yeah.
And do you think that we need to, like, sometimes people have so many bad customer experiences, but they hold on to them? Do you think we need to start calling businesses out? Because sometimes I feel like calling businesses out, but I'm like, okay, I'm also a business, and maybe one day in my own humanness, I may offend someone, and then they'll be like, you, but you were calling out this other business. So that's why I don't even mention any names. But I'm like, do we need to start calling businesses out? Because then you're preventing someone else from going through a bad experience.
To be honest, I think there should be an opportunity. Like as a business, you should create a platform where people can give feedback. I know there are certain pages where they'll ask you to give a review,
Yeah,
like you give them the stars and if you have any feedback. But I think we should like there should be an opportunity for us to call it out because
yeah,
feedback is the fruit for you to grow. If
yeah,
people are not telling you you're doing well, let's say if it's even if it's positive feedback, people are not telling you you're doing well, you might be there thinking, I'm not doing it right, let me change it. And then you change your strategy and it actually makes you lose your customers.
yeah,
So the same applies to when you're doing wrong, right?
yeah,
There should be an opportunity for people to give you that feedback and for you
mm-hmm,
to receive it.
yeah,
So we should give the feedback. They should also look at it because at the end of the day, as you said, they may be thinking you're doing everything, they're doing everything right, but they are actually hurting the customers.
yeah,
And there are people who are not happy. And someone else might also come and have that same bad experience. So I think we should start calling it out. And even the businesses themselves should have a platform where people can give the feedback.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I've just remembered something random. It's not even in the script, but how
Yeah.
can we talk about bad experiences without talking about tailors, guys?
Oh, guys, those.
Tailors, when you're having an important event, they will show
Ah,
you flames.
ah, I
Because
remember. Ah, no.
do you remember for your wedding?
Yes, yes, for our evening dress. I remember perfectly
Oh
well.
my God. Ish. Thank God we don't see that particular tailor anywhere
Yeah.
in recent times, but some tailors they can make you cry on your event.
You know, like a recent experience with a tailor, this person has done a good job, like on a number of occasions,
Mm-hmm.
right? But this particular time, we went to her and she just delivered something completely off. And then we
Hmm.
started wondering, is it a case where she had a good employee that used to do the work for her? Because on one of the occasions, we literally went to her and
Mm-hmm.
told her, these are the issues we have. Fix them. We're not leaving. Like we got there in the morning and we're like, we're not leaving. Trust me, the more changes she made, the worse of the dresses got. So for me,
Yeah.
I now started thinking she was probably like
Yeah.
leveraging someone else's good work and
Yeah.
maybe she didn't manage to replace them. But then again, it's maybe also something small businesses should be aware of, right? So if you're providing a service, make
Mm-hmm.
sure you also
Yes.
know whatever it is.
Yeah.
If it's a restaurant, at least even if you don't know how to cook, at least have contacts for good chefs so that if your chef is not there,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
as in this case, this person that was having this tailoring business, at least learn the basics
Yeah.
because it was so embarrassing. Every touch she made, like the join was just I
Why couldn't she just be honest and say that she doesn't know how to do it?
no, she got angry because I gave the feedback. You know me. So the first time I
Yeah,
got there, and I told her I'm very disappointed because people came here because of the feedback I gave them about your work. And well,
yeah,
she got upset afterwards. But that's the thing. It's like we're never willing to receive feedback.
yeah,
We would rather people, I don't know if it's just say bad things behind our business back, but I think it's better
yeah,
we are more receptive to even receiving that bad
yeah,
feedback ourselves,
yeah.
because then we can know what to do about it.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think it's very true the part that I think that's why people will encourage that if you want to go into a business, even if it's an agent type of business, you yourself should know what's involved in this business. That
Yes.
way, even not just that, or if someone quits, then you won't be able to manage. Even your employees won't be able to tell you lies because you know
Oh,
how this
yes.
business is done. So even like those businesses that we were talking about to say, oh no, you want the owner to do it, but if the
Mm-hmm.
owner is not, yeah, you get sad if you go there and the owner is not there. The only time that you actually get that sad is because the owner hasn't even trained those people to their level. I think if
Exactly.
you as the owner you want that freedom of not having to be there 24/7, you have a big
Mm-hmm.
job because you must make people be trained to your level. But
Exactly.
it's like businesses are okay. Business owners are okay with, I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
This business can run itself. But you haven't trained those people to that level where your skill is, because that's the only
Yes.
way you can let go of your hands. So I think that person, they really made a mistake of not learning the business from the ground up. I
Yeah.
know of a certain salon owner who says, I don't even know how to braid hair, but she is like her salon is really, really good,
Mm-hmm.
but she's there 24/7. That's the only
Hmm.
way it can work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and she's just lucky that she's
Yeah.
able to identify good talent and hire
Yes.
good
Oh,
talent.
yes.
Otherwise, that method doesn't work for everyone, whereby you,
No.
the owner, you don't know this business, but it's still able to thrive. It's
Yeah.
very rare that you can get talent which is that good that they can manage the business and they're just like overseeing and managing
But I think the other, to your point, right?
it. Mhm.
Like learning the business in and out, but you also find a way to like let yourself be away and it runs without you.
Yeah.
I think other people I've seen have hired like a manager who
Mm,
knows the business, so
yes.
that even if they are not there,
Mm-hmm.
there's this other person who understands both overseeing people but
Mm-hmm.
also how to actually do the work. Because then again, like you, I had a chat 2 days, yeah, 2 days ago when I was heading back from work. So
Mm-hmm.
this lady, and actually we were on the phone.
Yeah.
So I'm getting some vegetables from this lady I normally get vegetables from, and she tells me, I'm so tired.
Mm.
I've been leaving this place at 22 every day, and I
Mm.
leave home at 5 to make orders.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid that if I decide to rest, I'm going to lose out on money. So I asked her, I'm like, don't you have anyone else that can sit in for you? Because then again, like this takes a toll on you. Like
Yeah.
eventually it will affect your business.
Yeah.
And said, no, but I'm just scared they might not do it as well as me.
Yeah.
So I think as business owners also, we want like the business to run only when we're there.
Yeah.
But then again, I think it's led to us living in a world where we have very few businesses that have lived long,
Yes.
because the moment I pass on, my business passes on with
With
me.
you. Yeah.
We need to get to a point where we are setting up our business operations in such a way that even if I'm not there, this business, whether
Can
it's
still
me
run.
training my
Yeah.
family members or the next person, it should still run.
Yeah.
Because we want to have companies that will be saying, oh, Let's Go Hiking has been there for 200 years
Yes.
supporting fitness. And that can
Yeah.
only happen if we are having a proper structure on how we'll continue to run
Yeah.
this business, even when we're not there.
Yeah. It's true. I think we have a lot of work to do to train someone who can buy into the vision, because
Yes.
not every person that you get to manage your business can have that vision. Some managers have crushed
Yes.
someone else's
Yes.
business
No,
to the
that's
ground.
true.
You've gone, you're thinking, I've left my manager in charge. Your manager has other ideas, or
Yeah.
your manager actually decides to leave and go get your customers
Oh yes,
to the new
yes,
business. So it's a risk, but I think, yeah, it's something that we need to start learning to do, to identify people who can buy into the vision of your company, such
yeah,
that you also, because trust me, yes, you go into a business because you're passionate and maybe it's something that doesn't feel like work to you. But the real reality is most of us going to these businesses, we want financial freedom to be able to do the things that we, if
yeah,
I want to go on vacation, I should be able to go on vacation. I shouldn't
yes.
be stressed like, oh no, the business now,
It
it will
will
be on a
close.
standstill. Yes,
Yeah.
it will close. So yeah, that's something we really, really need to work hard to do. And someone else was talking about how uh, a mistake that businesses are making or are making is doing business with family. They are
Mm-hmm.
saying it's just black tax because family members sometimes they don't want to pay or they
Mm-hmm.
call you rude when you are requesting your own money. So yeah, I agree with this.
Yeah.
I think even I've done different businesses in the past and it is true. Sometimes okay, the thing is, there's two sides to this. Sometimes your
Mm-hmm.
family and friends are the rock that your business rides on. For me
Yeah.
personally, when I was starting my hiking business, it was my friends that held that business until it became like this scalable thing. But there are
Yeah.
also certain businesses where your family can really show you flames in the name of they are trying to support you. So, like this person wrote to me, it's quite a long story, but in short, she does a cake business and
Mm-hmm.
she had relatives who would send her pictures of like the kind of cakes that they want. And when she tells them the price, they're like, no, it's too expensive. But they got this Pinterest,
Yes,
Instagram
those.
type of cake, but they want you to do it on a 500 kwacha budget.
Yes.
And then when you refuse, they get upset, or you go ahead and you squeeze your resources to give them this lovely cake, whereby you've undercharged them, but they are refusing now to pay.
And they'll call you a bad
Yes,
person,
you're
right?
now a bad
Yeah.
person who
Mm.
wasn't helpful. And in their head, they were trying to support your business. So it's like a lot of small businesses have crashed. Like for her, she got so frustrated to a point that she quit doing this cake
Oh
business.
no.
Yes. So sometimes I agree that small businesses may be just burnt down by the same people who are supposed to be providing support to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree to a great extent. Like I
Yeah.
was having a conversation recently with my brother. Like we're trying to identify something he could start out, right? And then
Yeah.
he previously had done something,
Yeah.
and then he was selling to his workmates.
Yeah.
And trust me, he made a significant loss because most people didn't pay the full amount. First
Oh,
of all, people wouldn't pay cash. They wanted to pay to get things on
on
credit.
credit.
And then also, they didn't want to pay the full amount. So we're joking and saying, no, the next time we start something, we have to sell to strangers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the funny thing is, the
Mm-hmm.
same, like it's the same people. So
Yeah.
maybe the problem is also us, right? When we are buying from someone we know, we want to pay less.
Yeah.
When we buy from a stranger,
Yeah.
we'll pay the actual amount and even tip. Yes, and even
Yes.
tip. So I think it's a bad culture. Like even
Yes.
yeah, like it's a bad culture from like now the customer side, us as people, which is something we need to work on. Because at the end of the day, if we can be a good customer to other people, why should we want to get discounts from the people we know?
Taking advantage of our loved ones.
Yes,
And in the same breath, it's like people talk about how, like, when you're on the street and you know this person you're buying vegetables from, like, that's the only money they are depending on. But you
yes.
want to negotiate, you want a cheaper bargain. But this is you on your way home, stopping for vegetables for 10 kwacha.
Mm-hmm.
You want this person to reduce to 5 kwacha. But you're from a restaurant where
Yes.
you have spent 2,000 kwacha on this fancy steak
And the
and
tip,
these drinks,
and
and
also
you've
given
given
a
a
tip
tip.
more than the 10 kwacha you're
Yes.
negotiating
Then
for.
on your way home, you want to buy vegetables and you're negotiating a 10 kwacha. Like, that's also the same behavior that we have towards our family. It's with a
Yes.
stranger, you are willing to pay whatever it is, but with your family member, you want them to give you discounts. Hey, give me family discounts. Give me what?
Like we're not family.
But
But
that same family member is not realizing how that is killing your business, unfortunately.
exactly.
Yeah, ish. Anyway, um, someone else on TikTok responded saying record keeping. I asked them
Mhm.
to tell me more, but they didn't respond. So I'm going to assume they're just talking about how um, maybe from the financial side as well, is that sometimes small businesses are good. Maybe they make so many sales. Some small businesses are good at selling, but because they don't keep track
Mhm.
and document and manage their finances very well. I think that's how come they end up crumbling. Because also for people who are doing, I've seen this a lot, people who are doing like a full-time job and a side business, sometimes the full-time job is financing this
The
side
business,
business,
yes.
whereby even if this business is making losses, they can't see that it's making losses because they just take from their salary and they reinvest. But if this business was to like stand on its own, it would probably fail because it wouldn't then have that support of the salary. So it's like mixing those your personal money,
And the
your salary
business.
money with your business, and you not just keeping track of where what money went where. Because if you're um maybe you have a shop and the person at the shop says this has run out, you're like, okay, fine, take from the cash box and buy this.
Mhm.
If the, oh no, your relative comes and there is an emergency, oh no, it's fine, I'll
Oh yes.
replace. So at the end of the day, you're not keeping track of where the money is going, and you're like, okay, but how come I made so much in terms of sales, but I'm not making a profit? Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you interpret this records management?
Record. For me, I think aligned to you, but I think the additional leg is just not really taking the business as a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think most people, also because of not just having like the basic accounting uh, learning,
Yeah,
so you'll find that like there will be someone running a business. Let's
yeah,
say an example of a salon, right?
yeah,
Yes, people come, they are making their payments for the hair that they are plating, but you're not really every month doing a tabulation of what's my total income, what are
yeah,
my total expenses, whether
yeah,
it's water, electricity, and.
yeah,
Then based on how much I made, less my expenses, how much is this business actually making? Because
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's like you just be receiving your money. Then, as you said, you spend, oh, this has run out, you spend, oh, shampoo is done, you spend. And then, like, you're not really then looking at what's the picture here. Am I making money? Or are
yeah.
there certain changes I need to make because my expenses are more than the income I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting?
Mm-hmm.
And also just not budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, what will my budget look like? So that even then when you're spending, you can track and say, if I spend more than, if say for instance, your budget for expenses for the month is supposed to be 15,000, then you're like, okay, if I spend more than 15,000, it means my profit for that month will be less. Because
Yeah,
if your expenses are growing, it
yeah,
means they're eating into whatever it is that you're supposed to make as a profit. So I think just not having or also not applying that basic accounting to just make
yeah,
sure you're looking at the financial health of your business.
yeah, true. And it speaks to what someone else wrote to say lack of financial management.
Yes.
And this same person also said lack of proper systems and controls.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, which I agree to. I mean, even if your business is small, I think you shouldn't underestimate the power of you having certain controls in place. Like the same thing we're talking about, where, okay, in case there's an emergency, you just take from that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there are certain businesses where they don't have like written down procedures. And so people just wing it, they just go with the flow.
Yes.
As things are happening, that's
Yes.
when you figure it out. There are
Yeah.
also certain small businesses, like I said, they don't realize the power of what they're doing, so they don't protect themselves. Like, for example, you may not have money to get insurance, but you can just indemnify yourself from any damage or loss by putting certain clauses in your
Mm-hmm.
business. So, like, I'm learning this the hard way myself with my
Mm-hmm.
hiking business. It's like people wake up sometimes and they're like, I can't come for the hike, so I need a refund. Like, it's the day
Day
of
of the
the
hike.
hike. What do you mean? I've already paid guide fees, I've already paid
Yes.
this and that. So it's like I'm learning as I go along, like, oh, I probably needed to have a clause that says I can't refund you if it's
Oh,
this close to
yes.
the hike. So a lot of us businesses, so I'm part of those same businesses I'm talking about that learn things as they go. But I think what's important is to pick up the good things from some of these experiences to say,
Yeah.
okay, fine. I didn't have this refund policy in place. Let me have this
Have
to
it.
protect myself from future loss. Because in that moment, it's too late. You can't now
Yeah.
wake up and be like, it's
No.
the day of the hike, I can't refund you. They are the ones who started first the conversation. So
Yeah.
you need to learn how to incorporate these systems, these policies, these procedures that will protect you from any loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a very good one actually. I didn't think of it. As you said, I think a lot of people just wing it.
Yeah.
So I think having like systems, even just a procedure in place would really help.
Yeah.
And the person talked about controls. Like today I was having a conversation with my husband, like we're passing by a car wash, right? So
Yeah.
we're laughing, I'm like, oh, for this business, it's a cash-based business. It's so
Mm-hmm.
easy for people to steal from you. But also
Yeah.
think of just a simple control like cameras,
Yeah.
how much they would change that position because the price for washing a car is almost standard. So if
Yes.
you can see from your camera on a particular day that 20 cars visited your car wash, you
Yes.
can have a rough estimate of how, yes, there are few people that will do like extra services, but even if you just use the basic amount, you can have an estimate of how much you
Of the
expect.
minimum amount. Yeah.
Yes, so such small controls can help even for when you're not there,
Yeah.
because then it means you have a system that helps you monitor. And at
Yeah.
least now, like cameras are not so expensive. Like in the Chinese
Yes.
shops
Yeah,
and
you
the
can
shops in town,
buy.
you can buy and it will just change everything. Like just that small change will change a lot for your business.
Yeah. And I think it
Yeah.
will give you a peace of mind because that's
Yes.
why some business owners can't be away from the business. They are
Mhm.
worried people are going to steal from me, people are going to what. But that's why you need to do your homework to understand what kind of controls that you need to put in place to prevent your own staff from stealing from you. So even
Exactly.
for like a salon, yes, you may have a record book where you keep record, you tell your staff to write which services, if it's how many people came
Hmm.
to wash their hair, what. But they can always understate that.
Yes.
They can say only 5 people came. Meanwhile, there were 10 people. They put that difference into their pocket.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you make sure that actually this record keeping is even working for you if you don't have
Working.
controls that are supporting that system that you have put in place? So
Yeah.
yeah, I think a lot of businesses need to work on the controls as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you may find that sometimes people will just give you a blanket statement. No, don't go into that business. It's not profitable. But why isn't it profitable? Because there are also
Exactly.
some people that are doing that same business and it's profitable. I remember
Mm-hmm.
someone saying, no, don't go into mobile money business. It's not profitable. Are you telling me all these mobile money booths are not
Mm-hmm.
making any money? Why are they
Exactly.
still there if
Exactly.
this is not profitable?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you just didn't know how to manage that business and now you write it off as, oh, business is not
It's bad.
profitable. It's
Yeah.
bad. So I think, yeah. And do you have any last experiences that we haven't covered?
I think we've covered most of them, but
Really?
no, like somehow we've spoken to most of them. I
Okay.
think, yeah.
Okay. And do you have any last words to our audience, to someone who's planning to start a small business or someone who's already running a small business on how they can make sure that they don't kill their own business?
Okay. So I think last words mostly links to what we've talked about. I think there are a lot of good businesses out there that we can learn from. So I think before you start your business, do your homework, do some research, for instance, like what are the basic things that I can do to deliver good value for the customer. Because at the end of the day, even if you're in it to make a profit, you're doing it for the customer. If the customer is not happy, they won't buy from you, you won't make your sale. So
Yeah.
I think just do your homework, look out for what are customers really looking for. Have a feedback system. When customers give you feedback, don't take it as criticism. Be open to feedback and work on the feedback. At the end of the day, if feedback is showing you that things need to improve in a certain direction, use that for your good. And also just work on your communication. At the end of the day, misunderstandings will be there, but talk to your customers. If something changes, let them know upfront. Don't always place that responsibility on the customer. And lastly, I think just leverage technology, whether it's the use of social media, whether it's just using chat gpt to give you a high level of how can I do record keeping for this business, how can I have a procedure that tells me how I do my work in this business, how do I advertise on social media. Like, just use technology to your good, because the reality is technology is here and it has changed how we do everything. So if you use it for your good, it will actually help you differentiate your business and deliver better value for your customers, so that they won't have some of the complaints or the challenges that we have talked about today. Yeah.
Thank you. I feel like that message is for me. I'm sitting here like,
Or as a
okay,
business.
yes, I'm there taking notes, and I hope you have been taking notes too. Thank you so much to Tapiwa for sharing her own experiences with me, and also sharing her like keynotes from these experiences, sharing her own experiences, as well as just dissecting the experiences from our audience. And for you, the audience of the show, we appeal to you to continue writing in the comments what your experiences are that Zambian businesses are doing that are killing them. We have enjoyed this episode, and we hope that you will too. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This has been the Money and People podcast. Bye.
Bye.